Yeah, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Oh, I hear me now, but I'm not hearing you, man.
Okay, now I should be good. That should do it. You should be able to hear me now. Yeah? Oh, yep, there it is. Hooray!
Yep, gotcha.
Awesome.
You did it, man.
Yeah, it's like a couple
You
buttons.
got it.
This is no big deal. This is no big deal.
All right, man. How you been, dude? It's been a
Um,
couple of weeks since we've done the podcast.
it has, yes. So sorry, everybody. Whether you join us tonight for the live or if you're listening to this later. Between like vacations and then I got bronchitis for like a couple weeks. Just been getting absolutely destroyed lately. But we are back. Back to talk about House of the Dragon. I guess I don't want to go into it too much yet, but don't forget, Joseph, once we're done with House of the Dragon, we're going to do a catch-up on movies, and we're not going to talk about what we've seen beforehand.
Yes, that's right.
So
that's why I can't talk about the movies I've seen. I'm glad you reminded me of that.
I don't want to go too much into it, but I did see a movie last night. And
is it a movie in which they would eat Kalamala olives?
Probably.
Yeah, typically in its salad, you would find feta cheese.
Yes. Yes. Have you seen it yet?
Negative.
Okay. If you guys aren't aware, he's talking about the Odyssey, because a Greek salad. Yeah. That should have been obvious, but just in case, you're like, what's he talking about?
No, not yet. I'm planning on probably. I don't know if I'll be able to see it this weekend or not, but next week I know for sure I'll be able to see it. Then I'm also going to watch another movie that came out today.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a couple things left on my list that I need to get through, so we'll be talking about that, and I'll probably talk a little bit about a couple TV shows I've been watching, but not for very long. So we'll do that in a couple weeks. Is this season 10 episodes, or is it less than
8 episodes?
Oh, it's only 8, so we only have 2 more. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me double check. Maybe it is 10 episodes. I think I'm wrong, actually. I think it is 10. This is season 3.
Mm-hmm. He's checking.
All right, 8 episodes. So no, I was right. Yeah,
okay.
8 episodes.
So only 2 more. Well, that's probably for the best.
Yeah, I think so. Unfortunately, man.
Yeah, but before we like get to that, do you want to hear my? I want to tell you like my very vague initial thoughts about the Odyssey, because I'm still mulling it over a little bit.
Spoiler-free Odyssey review right here.
So all of the things that you were kind of expecting to bother you in the movie are probably still going to bother you. Number one being the basically American accents that everybody has. It's more jarring at times than others, and so it's weird because it is kind of dependent upon the actor. Like for whatever reason, with some people it bothered me less. I think it's just because it comes off as them speaking. I was telling a friend of the show, Justin, that the thing that bothers me about it is not that as much that they use the English accent or the Americanized like accents, but that there's no real attempt at changing the dialogue to fit the time period and the writing as much, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, if you were just gonna just like keep out, like, even if you said everyone just had used your natural accent for this, and we're just gonna kind of go with it, or like they did, where they're using a lot of American accents, and everything's very
Right.
like
It's
modern
like a
in the way.
modern. It's almost kind of like wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio in a Romeo and Juliet
That's exactly.
movie? That's kind
Hmm.
of the idea I get, to where
Yes.
the creative vision behind Nolan wasn't to be historically accurate.
No, not at all, and not really
Yeah.
even accurate to like the written material, like the book, if you will. But the story, there's a lot of stuff that they leave out. A lot of weird decisions about what to explain to the audience and what they just sort of leave up to your, like, as far as his
Imagination.
journey. Yeah, kind of. Um, I'm only so familiar with the Odyssey. Um,
Well, apparently this one was based on, allegedly, not I don't know again how much of it was based, but
yeah.
a good portion of it I'm led to believe was based on lady who this lady who leans liberal.
Hmm.
To what degree, I don't know, because that's a spectrum.
It was like allegedly a feminist interpretation
But a
of the
feminist
story, right?
interpretation of it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
I don't know how. There's a couple things that you might be able to point to that I don't. At this point now, I kind of want to listen to some people who know about the story a little bit better and the things that were changed. Because again, I have like a vague memory of it from growing up, and just like old versions of it and things like that. Um, but yeah, I think that stuff, is a problem. And then like it's a very bassy movie. There's lots of
It's a very what kind of movie?
booming bass, like
Okay.
booming
Gotcha.
kind of
Yep.
like. There's a couple times in it where it's like, I think y'all needed to fix your music a little bit. Like they turned up the bass like a little too much on the score. So yeah, I'm still kind of mulling it over. There's like some stuff that I like about it, some stuff I think that still comes through from what I remember of the story, but it's kind of a mixed bag. Is probably where I would be with it right now.
Okay. I do want to tell you something funny though.
Mhm.
So he did draw inspiration from her uh, novel on it, her reimagination of it from a feminist perspective. But Emily Wilson's the lady's name, and she criticized this movie, um, and said there are far more female characters than in most Nolan movies, thanks to the source material, but none of them has much to say in contrast to the characterizations in the poem.
Yeah, actually,
So
well, that's kind of what's interesting about it too. I,
see, this is what I mean. It's never enough.
no, it's never enough. And I don't know. I mean, like Anne Hathaway spends a lot of time being like really upset, and I'm joking
Yeah.
around a little bit, but like, uh,
Dude, I had
I
so
don't
many
know,
good jokes when you said that, but
yeah, I don't know why. I'm not sure they needed to give her as much screen time as they did. Her role is pretty much she's trapped in Ithaca without Odysseus, and kind of like what she's going through, and that does come through. But I think they spend a little bit too much time on it. There's some stuff I think that they want to spend time on in the story that I think they could have done without. And I think it's
right.
usually, other than the initial setup of what's going on in Ithaca and some of the stuff that's going on with Tom Holland's character, who's Odysseus' son, and like what he's doing. There's a lot of time that's like, I don't know if we needed to. You need to like go back to it and set up sort of like your villains from that part, because they're villains throughout, but they're really like the villains of the third act. Because Odysseus is, you spend a lot of time on these very specific points where it's like Odysseus goes here and then they go here. And again, I don't know enough about the original source material to give you like insight as to what maybe they should have done
Me
differently.
either.
Um, other than some of the things that I
Good for
heard.
you to admit that.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that's like there's things that happen in it where you're like, well, okay, but why? Why are
Yeah.
we showing this at all? Other than it's like, oh, it's been really hard for them to get home, which obviously that comes through. And there's some stuff I think where they spend time that's better, but they include certain parts of the story, and then it's just sort of like it happens, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's something about it wasn't quite right with me. Like that's why I was saying it's kind of a mixed bag because there's moments where you're like, oh, okay, like I see what they were doing here. And I think for the most part, it's a Nolan movie. Like it looks pretty good. I don't really know if that's an excuse for some of its like shortcomings, but because that's kind of
But
the
yeah, we talked about it before though, how you can have a great story and but maybe the production design, set design or CGI isn't the best, but the story and the characterizations, the narrative, the characterization, etc., can make up for it.
yeah.
Whereas the inverse typically isn't true. No one's going to be like, yeah, well, the story was mid, but man, was it beautiful. Yeah, unless there's like some huge battles in it and that are awesome and amazing that take up a good portion of the movie. But even outside of that, you're probably going to be left wanting because you're not connected to the characters or to the story itself. I
Yeah.
did want to ask you one question. What did you
Uh-huh.
think? I gotta ask you all the drama, questions. What
Okay.
did you think of Elliot Page's character and her acting?
I is it? I don't even know. Uh, Elliot is not in the movie very much.
Okay.
But
What did you think of the time that she was in it?
it's kind of whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then,
I
that's cool. Yeah, I'm looking for. I'm actually do. I'm interested in seeing it. So I kind of, for reasons like kind of like you just mentioned, I could kind of tell from the trailer
the
that
trailer's a vibe
this is
check for it.
probably gonna be a mid movie.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's hit anywhere near
Like
his
not horrible, but
best.
not great.
Yeah, it's not Tenet. Tenet is, in my humble opinion, is kind of unwatchable.
Yeah.
You know.
And one things I want to talk about is I know a lot of people brought up the cast, and I don't really have a problem with a film cast in that manner, like the Odyssey, or if you have a film cast like The Northman, right? That got a lot of flack for having an all white cast because
Yeah.
they're trying to stick to or like Oppenheimer, stick to it being historically accurate.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, a film should fit the creative vision of whoever the director is or the person writing the story.
Sure.
And if that, creative vision is historical, then cast it that way. If it's to represent a certain group, then be diverse and represent that group, whatever that may look like.
Yeah.
Or if it's to cast actors you want, regardless of physical characteristics and all that stuff, that's fine as well, right?
Mhm.
It's not necessarily that one is better than the other because you can find enjoyment in all three and you can write a movie that's good in all three ways. To me, the problem that I have is when one of them becomes celebrated over the other. So a
Yeah.
film like The Northman is racist because it's an all white cast, but then a film like The Odyssey is upheld because it's more diverse instead of being an all Mediterranean cast. So
Sure.
in my mind, it's like either they're both racist or neither are. Or
Yeah.
you have the trailer for the Children of Blood and Bone, which has like Viola Davis in it. The chick that's in Wicked, Cynthia Riva,
Reba.
that plays
Mhm.
the witch, Idris Elba in it, and it's a very, I think it's Children of Blood and Bone is supposed to be in some sort of African fantasy story, and it's very much historically accurate. That's
Yeah.
fine. Like, that's great. But, like, if there's a director who wants to be historically accurate for European stories, that's fine too. It's what we've been saying this entire time.
Mhm.
Any vision is fine. It's just when you try to decry one as racist over the other, that's where the problem lies.
Yeah. For
Either
sure.
all of it is or none of it is.
Mhm. Yeah. I think you're right, and I guess what it kind of comes down to, and obviously we know about all of the the what do they call them? The
Can
like
I?
quotas, huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
All the
I was gonna. I
quotas.
was gonna. I just wanted to say that also doesn't mean if a cast is made like the Odyssey that you have to like it, and you can't say, "Oh well, I'm just gonna throw out just because we just brought her up, Elliot Page. She's miscast, right?" You can
Yeah.
still say, "Oh well, this role was miscast." You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not convincing, and I
Like,
that's what I
like if you had Anne Hathaway in a role that was like, where in the story it's like her skin was as dark as the twilight
yeah.
night, and it's like Anne Hathaway appears, you'd be like,
Yeah, she's like
what?
a ghost.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's up to. I think I like the idea that you're saying is like it is the vision of the director, the writer, the people
yes,
who are working on those creative elements to decide how they want to cast it, what they want to do, and just for a minute, if we're kind of putting aside all of the check boxes that like Hollywood has to like fulfill for a lot of these movies, um, it it takes away from that creative vision when that, like you were saying, that's the focus. Instead of it being
exactly.
like, okay, we know like typically this is the case, but like we think this is the best actor for the case, and they don't look exactly like that, because people used to not care, and then all of a sudden that became the center focus of everything because that's what all of the like popular pundits or whatever were talking about for the longest time. Um, and it's like, yeah, of course, but if we took it away from that for a second, it's like in I guess in a perfect world or whatever, you would let people kind of like make those decisions, and then the audience gets to decide how they feel about it, and that's still the case. It just kind of turns into like screaming matches now before movies comes out
Yeah.
when one specific like side of the argument is displeased with something that's going on. Yeah, I'm curious to see what you're actually going to think of the movie. I don't want to say too much right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to stay as vague on purpose because obviously we'll talk about this more in a couple weeks.
Yes.
But yeah, interesting time. If it wasn't obvious already from the last time we recorded or the beginning of this episode, like I'm not super hot on this season of House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
I,
I think I land around where you do, but probably like enjoying it a bit more. Like I really enjoy the scenes with Aegon and Larry's.
yeah,
Um, uh, Ironically enough, I kind of thought their dialogue was great. Like all the way their banter back and forth has been great all the way along. But then kind of how they first left King's Landing, and you know there are criticisms that I had that Larry's would be a lot smarter than just leaving things to chance on the road. Um,
he
and so,
seems very hesitant. Or are you getting that vibe? I guess we can talk about it because yeah, I liked a lot of the stuff they've been doing with that. I think because I'm not 100% sure what their plan is. It seems like if
yeah, I've,
sorry,
I guess I should say I've enjoyed the interactions, but kind of how they first left King's Landing, being in that wagon full
yeah,
of the ravens, and just kind of like being left up to chance, and then they run into those men who support Rhaenyra, and
yeah.
I feel like Larry's would have had a plan, would have had men waiting, and had it developed more than just happenstance.
It's a big problem with this season, isn't it? Is that it's falling into a lot of
Contrivances and
stuff is getting hurried along for the sake of story,
yep, it's moving too fast, and some scenes are moving too fast, other scenes are moving too slow,
Mm-hmm.
and the
Sheep
writing
stealer
isn't.
stuff. Like, what are we doing? Why are we still doing this sheep stealer thing? It shows up, and I'm like, huh? Like, what are we supposed to take from this?
You know what I think the problem is that they're so focused on trying to be Game of Thrones to where they have all these different characters with all these different plots, and we got to tie them all together and link them back together. And I think a narrower focus on fewer characters would have been better, as it always is.
Agreed.
Less is more sometimes. And I think it's just, oh, we got to know what she's doing Sheep Stealer. We got Balin Adam. We got or Alan, whatever his name is. Then we got Adam. Then we got Corliss, Rhaenyra, Damon, um, Alicent, Helena, Aemon, Aegon, Larry's, Fate. What's his name?
The high
Dude,
tower
the guy that
stuff going on.
the guy that just died. Kristen Cole.
Kristen,
Um,
yeah.
the Orman. You got the other Dragon Riders, whatever they're called. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Hugh
Hugh
and
and the other one whose name I
which he
don't.
was probably the most relatable. He's so funny. Like I can't. What's
Yeah,
the point of having to Dragon if I can't have a beer with the lads about it?
yeah.
I'm like really relatable.
So I'll tell you this. I I find so far I think I found every confirmed death in the show pretty unsatisfying
Yes.
this season. Setup and payoff, and now I think there's an argument there that like with Kristen, I I didn't. It was kind of like okay, like I guess we knew that was kind of gonna be the outcome to some degree. I also got that spoiled for me. Random like
Oh, okay.
video I saw online. I was like, come on, guys.
I kind of was expecting him to live, ironically. I'm like, he's the guy that most wants to die. Like his whole, like he's been having an existential crisis, like after he saw the dragon fight from last season or whenever it was.
Yeah,
He's just been like, death, death. We're all going to die. Nothing matters. But to your point, I agree with his death. I don't necessarily have a problem with how he died. But it seems like there was more context missing, more dialogue missing.
Mhm.
Something was missing to set it up because it just seemed incomplete
Yeah.
and then just passed over too soon. It's like this is a major character that's been with us. Like you're talking about the payoff there just isn't there. There's no problem with him dying. It's just it probably shouldn't have begun at the beginning and it probably shouldn't have been just rushed straight through. Like, oh, well, nothing happened and that's it. And nothing is said about it
It was
again
just
for the.
it's another shock value one, just like Auto.
Yep. Yep. Everything so far has come across to me like a soap opera, like
Uh-huh.
story. You know
What's
what
her
I
face
mean?
is pregnant again, and they're trying to escape, and then they think they can, but they can't, and
Yeah.
you know,
Corliss is captured now. He wants to come back home. Well, he can't now. Or go back to King's Landing, but he can't now because he got captured
yeah.
and
The Lannister guy's alive, and now they
yeah.
they also are gonna vie for the throne. And some of this stuff I don't mind.
In a
I
better show, I wouldn't mind it if it was written better.
Yeah. I think there's been some strong stuff in the last couple of episodes. I like all the stuff with the gold cloaks and Damon. I think that's like pretty good natural progression as far as like a problem that he would run into that he's close to.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it matches up with his character. Yeah, the outcome of it is very Game of Thrones. It's like really good. That along with some of the things that have been happening with Rhaenyra actually got me feeling more like, oh man, they're really slipping. Like it's the stuff that we talked about that wasn't there yet. They've finally gotten to some things that, regardless of whether it's source material or not, is working for what's going on with all of them to feel like everything's slipping for them. It's not, they're not completely out of like, it's not like they don't have a lot of power. They still have a lot of dragons. They have, all of their armies like on the roads, like they're getting victories. Like obviously them killing Kristen Cole's like a big deal. So it's like victories are happening, but when you're talking about the things that are happening like closely to them and closely to Rhaenyra, it definitely is giving the correct vibe for the show of her things slipping. Like she can't hold on to.
She's
everything.
winning, but they're not dominant victories.
It's
just
at
like
the
barely
moment.
getting by. Like she's getting hurt and losing something almost as, if not more, of equal battle, like of equal value.
I was gonna say too, just one last thing with that. It's like it's working too that like the scenes with the small folks as they've continued to come to her, she's getting more and more annoyed, and it makes sense because some of this stuff is out of her control with the money and how all of that is like flowing. It's believable in the context of what's going on, which again is some of the stuff that's been missing with like the whole thing with Corliss and him or her not like what was it? Validating his children.
Yep.
It's a that was one of those things where I was like, man, I don't know if that's like really there, and it doesn't make sense for her character. But a lot of the other stuff that's been happening in these last couple of episodes, been a little bit more on board with. I think like that's when the show's kind of still at its strongest, and again, it's because they're keeping up with what actually makes these like characters tick. But there's so much other stuff that's going on around them that I'm just like completely uninterested in it at this point. Alicent and the sheep stealer stuff just isn't all that interesting, and really everything going on with like Damon's daughters. You know,
they're focusing on plots that I don't know what kind of effect they're going to have on the story, but they're really boring and bland.
Yeah, it's spinning. It feels like it's spinning its wheels in places still.
Yep.
Because it doesn't know what to do with these characters, and then they'll die, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's one more plot that we don't have to worry about.
Yeah. And then on top of that, it seems that Damon is muzzled at this season, that he's not really, they're not able to write him in full character because there's a lot of choices and decisions he decides that he makes to where I'm like, I really think Damon would just go this route and just do it based off of who he is. I know one of them I talked about was the White Worm, right? Just cutting, like having someone kill her. Gosh, man.
It doesn't. It doesn't make sense. She's still alive. I did think though that like him, it was like all the gold cloaks quit, and he's trying to like suss out what's going on. So he's basically putting on the gold cloak uniform and like wandering around in it. That felt very Damon, like his pride, and you know he's like he's so obsessed with this specific thing because it feels like something's like slipping for him, and he needs to be back in charge.
Personal.
Mm-hmm. And I like that. I thought that was like at least a good plot point that they had. So it's kind of a mixed bag. I wish I had more to say. Trying to think if there's any major, and that's kind of the thing.
No, I'm kind of right there with you. I mean, we could go more in depth and we could go scene by scene. I could break down the stuff that works and doesn't. And, you know, I enjoyed certain aspects of this past episode, but I find things, it's like there's things that I enjoy, but then there's things on the equal hand that I dislike to where it brings it down for me. And I did enjoy, I thought it was pretty funny, Ormond almost getting assassinated. Like how the effect of them kind of going back to the effect of smell. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I've liked all the stuff with Ormond and the things that are, you know, I think that's
but
like
go ahead.
I
kind of wish they would have him be just not like this. They boil everyone down. Ormond,
like
obviously Rhaenyra, Daemon, and Aemon into like it's like they have this one personality trait and they're insane. And it's like, why can't he just be an antagonist to Rhaenyra, but also not a, you know, this villain to where he's
very cartoon villainy, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is
over the top with certain things. Yeah,
well, and it's the same thing I'm talking about with Aemon. It's not that they can't make rash decisions and decisions that are bad, but it's Aemon. The entire build up from season 1 and into season 2 is that he is, well, you know, the heel to Daemon, right? He's similar to him. He's calculated, tactical. Again, he's not as wise, can't be as wise as Daemon. Yeah, he's a good fighter. He can't be as wise because Daemon has way more experience. So Daemon's going to know things that Aemon doesn't. And so Aemon can make bad tactical decisions still. But it's just like, they're just like, no, he's insane and kisses his mom.
Yeah, and this some of the stuff that we were talking about and you're complaining about in the first couple of episodes has really not gone. The whole Orman tricking uh, Damon thing has had zero real effect or consequences for the show. Like
Yep.
they didn't need to do it. And I was thinking about it. It seems like they put that in there in an attempt to characterize Orman as like sneaky or whatever, but not letting Damon also have a moment of catching on ahead of time. Was a problem, because you're wanting that like back and forth, but Orman being able to get away with that so easily, and then it just not being a thing anymore. Like there's been no real repercussion except for like the assassins that we've seen recently.
Yep.
But I don't even know if that's really about that. I guess it kind of is, because that was like the beginning of it. But it's a problem that Damon was the one that was there. It's like maybe it needed to be one of the other Dragon Riders, like something, let Hugh be the one who goes and, he's not as smart. Like he's got the strength and the scary dragon, and he could do all the same things Damon did, but he would probably just believe that the blonde kid was who Orman said that he was. And so it makes, that makes a little bit more sense in the context of what they were trying to do. But I think you're right. Like letting it be Damon was a problem because you're over here looking at it like he probably would have checked. Like he probably would have confirmed and thought, maybe these guys are trying to pull one over because, Damon is...
He doesn't have any reason to trust them.
Exactly. And he probably would have some kind of idea of the type of person Orman was. Like they're kind of treating him like they have no idea who this guy is. And I don't know in this universe if that makes a lot of sense. Like Orman probably wouldn't have gotten to where he was without some sort of reputation, and them being part of this like royal family, that probably would have crossed their paths. Like that kingdom, it's big, but it's like tight knit. Like everybody who's anybody in that world, like the other people typically know about. And it's probably a problem of the writing just not kind of preparing for these kinds of things.
Right.
And having the Bobcat Driver has been saying some stuff in here, and he was saying it's inventing stuff for the show because the source materials, there's not a lot there, and the deeper I think that we're getting into these seasons, there's less and less for them to work with. And then maybe some of the talent that was there, like we talked about this before, but some of the talent that was there season 1 isn't there anymore.
Yep. Exactly. Man, season 1 was so good, dude.
It was good.
Dude, Viserys, man. One of the worst kings probably of Targaryen dynasty because he got it probably the easiest time to be the king of Westeros with so much peace, and he, led it to a civil war.
And I think that's kind of what's interesting about some of the, not details of the story, but I like stuff like that where to some degree with a lot of these kings, it's a flip of the coin what you're going to get. It's actually somewhat like biblical too, like the in the Old Testament, like they deal with that with a lot of their kings. It's like you'll get one that's like good, time of peace, and then you'll get a terrible one who causes all these problems for everyone.
You get like like back-to-back consecutive terrible kings before you get a good one.
Yeah, so and then like you have the tragedy of like it was Balin Breakspear, is that right?
Yep.
And like the king that should have been, and just things like that. And we've talked about this before, but this is the stuff that, at least in this universe, that I like. Unfortunately, I think with the show they're running out of that material, and I think it is pretty clear that with certain characters they just don't know what to do. And I don't know how I'm ultimately going to feel about it, because after this season we'll still have probably another 8 episodes for them to wrap everything up.
Gosh,
and I don't know how satisfying it's going to be. Like, we'll see.
Do you feel a bit rug pulled so far this season? Because it's another season, in my opinion, to where at least the hype for the trailers were, and everything that was coming out, there's a lot of battles in this season. This season, everything gets real. Rhaenyra is going after everyone and all this stuff. And outside of that what first episode, the ballot battle of the
Hmm.
gullet. It's
Some of the stuff with Kristen in these last couple episodes.
yeah, but even then, it's not the
It's
sense of
quick. It's
the hype that was being
scale.
built up around
Yeah,
this season. Yeah, the
yeah,
scale isn't the same.
yeah. I want to say, and obviously to a lesser degree, but there was some of that with season 2 as well. Like
Yeah,
I vaguely remember that it was like they were setting all this stuff up, and oh, like don't you know this
because
stuff? Oh, we're
Lucerys
hyped for
died.
this, and blah blah blah. Yeah, and then it's kind of it's good. I mean, like I liked last season. It still felt like everybody was, for the most part, making decisions that made sense. I don't know. I wonder about television's such a weird thing, dude. I've been watching a couple this other show that kind of got recommended, and it's like interesting, and I think a lot of the stuff in it is, but the thing that I've realized about a lot of television that I don't like is I like stories that they're kind of staying focused on the main narrative, and a lot of television does this thing where the main narrative is sprinkled into episodes so that they can spread them out further. It's something they've done for like a long time. So it's like, oh, this is the main threat, or this is the main thing going on. But also, Dave and Kristen are having marriage problems this week, you know?
Yeah,
And House of the Dragon's starting to feel that way.
yeah, it is.
Um, and I,
Days of Our Lives,
yeah,
House of the
yeah,
Dragon.
it feels like we're getting certain things that are good sprinkled in. Um, and I know that there's not a lot of source material there, but they've done well with it in the past. You'd think that they would have figured out a way. It doesn't have to be brilliant, but to make the more interesting aspects of the show last longer, and not the sheep stealer stuff. And like even with the battles that they've done, it's like they're it's turning into like it's funny because Game of Thrones, I would still say it's like. And even House of the Dragon, it's higher up obviously than a lot of the other stuff that we've seen. All the other
Yep.
like fantasy stuff in the genre right now is significantly worse than this. But like this is slipping. This is starting to fall into a lot of the problems we have, at least from the story side of those other shows. Because House of the Dragon looks good, like it looks high quality. But the writing is starting to feel like a lot of the lower budget stuff that we see, where
Yeah.
they don't really know what to do. Um, um, you have anything else to say? Because we have another topic we can talk about. Actually, I don't
No,
really.
let's just.
I I don't have much else to say. You know what I mean?
Ironically enough, I don't either. I mean, I have a lot to say, but I don't. I think with the tone that we're setting is just wanting to give our general thoughts. There's not really
Yeah, like
um,
we could go into
much to
detail,
go
but
into. I like Hugh. I really
I like
he's
that
becoming
storyline.
more endearing.
Yeah, and I think it the way that they handle things with his wife made a lot of sense.
Oh, I meant um
Oh, you the other guy.
the other guy.
Hugh's the
Yeah,
guy with the wife.
my bad.
What's the
Uh,
because Hugh Adam and the guy who likes to go to the bar, who
yes.
gets beat up
Yeah,
by Damon.
he's kind of funny to me. He's very
Yeah, he just doesn't care. Like it's a great
down to earth.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great personality in there where he got thrust into this thing, and like Hugh had like ideas of grandeur, and that's like a problem for him. But then this guy, he's kind of like, "Ah, man, like Damon won't let me leave the castle. Like that's his conflict. I'm with you on that. I like that. I like that quite a bit. He always just seems like so out of place in
He
everything that
does,
they're
and then
doing.
he said he was gonna what in the episode before last dress in black like House
Yeah,
Targaryen. Rhaenyra was like, no.
yeah, and no, pretty funny, pretty funny.
Yeah, it is. I can't remember his name. I was trying to find
It's
it.
slipping my mind right now.
I'm gonna find it
Um,
if it's the last thing I do.
well, while you're looking for it, we'll take
Ulf.
Ulf. That's right, Ulf. Okay, well, uh, we can end the show on something that we'll be getting ready for in a couple months. We had that Lord of the Ring or Rings of Power season 3 trailer drop this week, I think, right?
Oh yeah, we did.
I'm gonna pull it up here because, to be honest, it was just a lot of like images, and I don't. What did you think?
Big old fat turd. I thought it was terrible. I know they're not sticking to any kind of resemblance of the source material, but
Yeah.
this whole deal with
From
Sauron and
minute one of Rings of Power, we knew.
Galadriel, it's dumb. They're bringing Celeborn in now. What's that stupid storyline going to be? You got the freaking stupid orc that's talking to Galadriel and Arondir, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
gosh, are they going to do some type of story to where we have to feel sympathetic for the orc? And the orcs actually aren't that bad, guys.
Yeah, it does feel like that's the direction it's heading in.
Orcs are people too.
Yeah.
And then they're doing the Nazgul, and of course the Nazgul aren't supposed to be around this time. It's just, I don't know.
Just
There wasn't
throwing
anything that left.
everything at the wall. They're like,
Yeah.
hey, all the things let's put the images in there. It's the same thing that they've done.
And it's the orc telling them about Sauron crafting the one ring.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude. The writer saying, or at least hearing that the writer said that you don't have to see any of the past seasons to watch this one. I'm like, well, that's a little bit encouraging, but now I'm just like, oh, brother, this is going to be bad again, but it'll be fun to watch it. We can critique it.
Oh, it's going to be fun to watch for sure.
I may have some good laughs. I hope it's so bad that it's funny. Because the first season was bad and funny. We were able to critique it. And then last season was just terrible.
I'm going to have to go watch like a rundown of the first two seasons again because I don't have a lot of memory of like there's some stuff, like bits and pieces of it. Man, I can't believe. Sorry, it's just cracking me up. So it was what, 20? Did the first season come out? What was it, 22? Is that right?
Yeah, was it 2022?
2 years between each season, is that right?
The Rings of Power season 1. I think you're right.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was September 1st, 2022.
Wow.
Taking way too long.
Long time, man. Yeah, it's just a lot of remember this from the Superior thing. Also, does it look like they've softened up Galadriel's features a little bit? Am I going crazy?
Oh, I'm not.
I was looking at
I'll have the trailer pull it up. Let me pull it up.
They kind of seem like they're... she's still in armor at the end. The show's definitely still got this very clean...
look to it. It doesn't. The world still doesn't look lived in.
Yeah, all the armor's too clean.
Remember?
Yeah.
Remember the Balrog? The Balrog's going to talk this season too, which I don't have a problem with.
Like it's Simon Pegg, apparently.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see how that goes. I don't actually have a problem with that. The Balrogs, I would estimate, would be able to speak, kind of the same way that the orcs would, and I think kind of the assumption you could make, the head canon you could lean into, would be, well, the reason why Sauron and the orcs and and the Balrogs learn, the Middle Earth languages is because Morgoth took slaves.
Yeah.
And so that's what you could.
Makes sense that you would want to learn like the local language to rule.
Yeah. Because Gothmog could speak, who was the leader of the Balrogs, I thought, if I remember correctly.
But then, like, the timeline for the Balrog and all this other stuff going on is not right? And then, like, I've seen a lot of people talking about how Sauron never fought a Balrog, and more specifically, may not have even known about the one in Khazad-dûm.
Oh yeah, taking very much some creative liberties
Yeah.
with, Sauron meaning the Balrog. Because if anything, just because the Balrog is evil doesn't mean the Balrog would have been on Sauron's side to begin with.
Yeah.
Sauron would have wanted to form an alliance, and the Balrog may have done that since Sauron was Morgoth's right hand man, like his lieutenant, if you will. But if Sauron knew about the Balrog, very much would have tried to get on his side, but the Balrog could have said no and fought against Sauron as well.
Yeah.
And the Balrog is a Maiar. Now Sauron's supposed to be the strongest, but I mean you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Sauron's strength, from what I remember with a Maiar, wouldn't I don't know if it would necessarily lie in his physical combat ability against a Balrog.
Mm.
But good. I mean, he was a shapeshifter in different ways. But
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we're gonna find out more soon enough. Did it have a? I can't remember if I saw.
gosh, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
Them shipping Galadriel and Sauron, dude. That's so dumb. Like freaking what?
That's hilarious.
Who approved this, dude?
Dude,
Like
this could not legitimately. I'm not sure it could be worse than it is.
yeah, and then they have
11:11
during meeting the Nazgul. I'm like, guys, this happened in the third age. It didn't happen in the second age. You're messing everything up.
They're all over the place with it. It's terrible, and they clearly don't care. It's just these are the
Got to
stories.
throw the
we're telling.
Momokill in there too. The elephant.
Oh yeah,
Member.
yeah, bruh. Of course they did.
We just need Orlando Bloom to show up.
Yeah. I do remember one thing from season 2. Remember the Ent wives show up?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Great. Thanks for that, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah. So November 11th is the release date for at least episode 1. Don't know if they. Doesn't look like, at least in the trailer, there's any indication of how many episodes that we'll get when it releases. So probably 1 or 2. I feel like that's typical. I can't imagine they're going to drop the whole season at one time, right? They haven't done.
I've heard they're dropping the entire season at one time.
They just want this thing in and out. They don't want people talking about this for long at all. That makes sense. Well,
yep.
We'll just talk about it in an excruciating
There are
detail.
8 episodes.
Okay, well, they're saving us at least 2. All right.
Yeah, I'm checking to see if they're releasing. I heard they were releasing them all, but let's see. No, they're not going to release them all at once, according to the Book of Truth, Google.
Gotcha.
Instead, they're going to roll out the 8 episodes in 3 separate batches over a 3-week span. Okay. So basically pretty much all at once. November 11th, they're releasing episodes 1 through 4. November 18th, only 2 episodes. And then November 25th, 2 episodes again.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I don't know why they got to even do that, dude. You're releasing them all in the same month.
That's dumb.
I mean, it won't even help with subscribers. Just release them all at once.
Yeah.
Let us get the garbage out of the way. You can at least do us that decency. Let us just push it through,
Yeah. I guess we'll find out. I'll have more news on that soon, more than likely. Should start seeing some stuff ramp up where, you have all those like fake accounts talking about how excited they are.
The super fans.
The super fan accounts. And then
super fan.
Yeah. I you can tell they're struggling with this thing, which is not surprising, but it's kind of nice to be vindicated with how crazy it was with season 1. People just like defending this thing like crazy. But it's all like money related, man. Like a lot of those accounts that we were talking about back then, and then like where are they now?
Yeah.
You guys, I wonder what was that dude's
name? Gonna start making those videos. Where are they now?
Where
the season's still going, or the show's still going on?
Who was that guy that got real upset with us?
Oh gosh.
What was his? I can't even remember his name now.
Man,
I need to go look him up.
there's
See,
been so many
go
moons.
message him. Be like, hey, buddy.
He's the
Maybe
no
you'll
better, do
remember.
better.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was it no better, do better. Is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no better, do better.
Yeah. Yep.
I
That's
think it was
so
like no
funny.
better, do better.
Yeah. I wonder if he's
Let's
still
see.
around. I'll have to go check TikTok.
Yeah, because I was blocked. So hopefully he's doing well.
uh, all right, dude. Well, on that note, I hope we can close it there for tonight.
Yeah.
Got anything else you want to add?
Shout out to know better, man.
Shout out to No Better. We have 2 episodes left. So for the not next week, I guess, but the week after, when we talk about the finale, we'll talk to Technically Mexican, see if we can get him on, because I think he's kind of been feeling the same way. But I'm curious to talk to him, see how he,
Yeah.
see where he kind of landed with the season. That should be fun. So, all right. Well, if you don't have anything else, we can stop there for tonight.
That's it.
Cool. Well, thank you all for checking out this episode of The Underground. We'll be back next week with another episode. And until then, y'all take it easy.
See ya.